think we're live.
Hey, Facebook, Planet Country, we are live, I think. Hello out there. You need to be checking your we're going to set up with MJ's phone here to make sure we can double check that we are live. But we are here in Sydney with McKenna Faith, of course, an artist from America. McKenna, welcome to Planet Country and welcome to Australia.
Thank you. It's been so much fun. It's beautiful. I love it.
It's beautiful. We think it's beautiful. But you've been here for, what, about a week? And you've been, I know, in Victoria, in Melbourne, and to Canberra, our nation's capital. What's been the highlight for you? What have you enjoyed most?
Oh my gosh, we went to Gibraltar? How do you
Gibraltar?
say? Gibraltar Falls yesterday. That was probably...
We're going to test you on language soon. We'll get to that.
I'm horrible. Okay, so we went there and that was a lot of fun. That was probably like the highlight so far. And the beach. I love the beach. And just it being summer here.
Of course. Well, that's the thing. The beach for you, I mean, it's second nature for you. You grew up in California, of course, but at the moment, even in California, it's probably too cool for the water, but you've come in summer. That's perfect.
Yes, it's perfect. So I love it.
And
you're going to love it in Tamworth, which is middle of nowhere. The sun's going to be beating down. I did the weather report on the show earlier today, and it was thunderstorm, so maybe it'll be all right. I don't know.
37, which is, I don't know, probably high 90s, I guess, something like that for Fahrenheit.
Yeah, we use just Celsius.
Yeah, where we use Celsius. How many countries use Fahrenheit too?
That's exactly right. Well, we must say, on our radio show, we normally do the Nashville weather, and of course it's been freezing, there's been snow, so when you were packing to come here, how did you approach it? Did you think, I've got to take bikinis, I've got to take shorts, and it must have been, where are they? I've got to find them.
All I brought was shorts and bikinis and dresses, so I was prepared. I was ready. I dug them out and
dusted them off.
Looked at the weather and blew some dust off of them.
And of course you had a big heavy coat that you had to wear to the plane, and then you haven't looked at it since.
Yeah, it's so cold. And yeah, it's really cold back home. So
perfect. And you've been to Echuca, which is on the border virtually with New South Wales and Victoria, and the Murray River is there. That must have been hot there. What sort of time did you have there?
Yeah, we actually played on the pedal steamboat. And that was awesome. We played for a 50th birthday party, and so it was.
That's some kind of party on the
pedal
boat.
We went down the river, and it was amazing. It was so much fun, and it was good weather and good people, and it was a lot of fun. They made us feel very welcome. So.
I have a funny story about the Murray River, and I was in Echuca. And I was going with my family on just a little boat with a little engine, just going out for a bit of fishing time. And we all got into the boat at the one time, and everyone except me got in one end. I got in the other end, and can you guess where I went?
Oh gosh!
I went up and I went into the water. So please do not mention Echuca.
Okay.
You twitch it whenever it comes up.
I'm just lucky that the steamboat wasn't anywhere nearby, and I had to really get out of the water.
Right?
We're close to the bank, and I think I felt a crab or two just grab my leg, but.
Now, I saw people swimming in there. It looked really nice. They were beaching on the sand.
Beaching in the middle of the country. I love that. Now, you mentioned Gibraltar Falls. Now, can we just, I don't know if it's in shot, but you've got an ankle that seems to have some sort of strapping on it. What happened at the falls?
Okay, well, if you know me, I'm like the clumsiest person. If there's something, a rock, it's going to grab my leg and pull me down. So, I always have bruises all over me. But I was walking, and we're actually doing a tour diary. So we were walking, and I was taking my GoPro and turning it on, and I wasn't watching where I was going. We were going down the stairs, and I tripped, and I rolled my ankle, and it hurt really bad, and it ended up swelling up. And so now it hurts to walk on, but it's a lot better today than it was yesterday.
That's good. So you're just trying to rehabilitate it, ready for the Tamworth
I
Country Music
thought the
Festival.
wildlife was the worry here. That was the dangerous thing.
Trod on by a kangaroo, maybe.
No, the big rocks.
You need to embellish the story for when you go back home.
There you go. I'd be like,
it was this big. That's right.
Massive kangaroo.
It wasn't a stare.
That's right, exactly. Now, I mentioned Tamworth, so that's next week, the Tamworth Country Music Festival, which is the biggest music festival in the Southern Hemisphere. Do you know much about it? Has anyone given you an insight into what to expect?
They said it's going to be hot and humid. And
that's it. That's all you need to know.
To hydrate a lot. So that's what I know. But they said it's going to be so much fun. Like all the country music fans come out, and it's just a big country music party. So.
Yeah, it is. All of Australia turns up there, and there's unique in Tamworth. There's buskers everywhere, all along the streets in town. There's people busking, and you can probably see the next big star. You never know.
Ooh, hey.
Even Keith Urban busked years ago, apparently. So.
Years ago, I think before our time.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's exactly right. Now, you're going to play a song for us. I assume you're going to sit down to play that, given the...
Yes, of course,
That's right. So we might jump out of the way and let you do that and then have a chat afterwards. What are you going to play for us?
I'm actually going to do, it's my second single off my record, Seal It With a Kiss, and it's called Obvious.
Yeah.
And I came up with a music video with it last year, and it's on Vivo, so check it out.
Check it out. All right, so we might jump out of shot
All
and
right,
get the guitar sorted.
I'll grab my guitar.
We are live. I did confirm it. We're live. We've got a few questions coming in as well that we'll ask in a second. Shout out to the Birdman, who I see has returned from our last video.
All right, so this one's called Obvious.
Fantastic. McKenna Faith, thank you so much for playing Obvious and run through. And I guess there's an obvious question that I wanted to ask you about. And that is iTunes. Of course, we know that you're some sort of star on iTunes in terms of sales. Tell us about that. How does one go from recording some music to suddenly having so many people downloading it on iTunes?
I woke up one morning and
it happened.
It happened. I was the #1 independent selling female country artist on iTunes, and that was so awesome to know people love my music that much because, as an artist, we hope for that. So when we're releasing a song, and so when I heard that happen, I was just like shocked and amazed, and it was awesome.
That's fantastic. And I guess the side question is, how much importance does social media play then in making sure people know about the music, that they can go along and get it?
Yeah, I'm on all social media, so Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I even have Snapchat. If you guys do that?
Of course we do.
Of course.
Okay.
MJ is the Snapchat.
All the filters, so you can check out us on tour and stuff and see our craziness. So I'm on all that, and we post all the time.
And MJ, there were some questions, I believe, coming through on the live feed. So do we want to?
Yeah, what were you most looking forward to in Tamworth?
I am looking forward to meeting fans and making Australian fans because I want to come back here and I love it so far.
Perfect.
So that's what I'm
Well,
most
you've already met
excited
Big
about.
Stu and MJ, which I think is like the
That's the highlight.
Yeah,
So.
The biggest.
James is asking, which big US country artist would you like to tour with? Who would you like to open the show for and steal the show from, I guess?
Ooh, let's see. So many. I mean, Dirks Bentley, who I always loved since I was little. I was actually one of the first artists I've ever opened for. So That was a lot of fun. And Maren Morris, I would love to Girl Power Tour, Carrie Underwood.
Well, whoever you do open for, I hope you say, come to Australia. Let's go to Australia. Those guys are awesome. We'd love to get the big name international artists out here, just like McKenna Faith, who we have out here, which I think is most amazing. Now, you are in Australia, you're in a different country, so I have to ask, right now we're in Woolloomooloo. Can you say, or better yet,
let's just spell it first. That's right.
Okay, WILLAMOOL.
Do we have a buzzer?
Wrong?
No,
Is that
that's
wrong?
wrong. I think it's WOOLLOOMOOLLO.
Nope. I think
Woolloomooloo.
there's only one L. Oh,
Woolloomooloo.
But I think there's only one L at the end.
Okay, right.
Okay,
So-
we're Sydney born and bred, and even we
We
don't
don't know how to say it.
Well, I was trying to ask people when we were in town. I was like, do you know if we're going the right way to? I was like, woo.
This place.
I was like, Mom, it's
Moo-moo.
Woolloomooloo. Get it right.
Yeah, on the phone. Just what's this place?
Yeah. They always giggle at us.
I was in the city once and I was going by train and someone asked me, do you know how to get to this place? And I got no idea. I'm out of town. I'm from Melbourne. I'm from Melbourne. Yeah.
I'm an out of town. I don't know.
But
There
out
we
of
go.
town.
Can you say your best Australian accent? I mean, how strong is our accent? We've got no idea. We're just talking. We're like, can you understand? We said in the way up here in the car, we're like, okay, we have to talk slowly because she may have no idea what we're saying.
That's
Yeah,
right.
well, I
Australians
appreciate
talk
that.
fast.
You guys do, and all your words run together, and I'm like,
Yeah, mate.
I just agree, so you guys could be saying whatever to me, and I'm like,
So-
People will say, how's it going, all right?
What's give us an Australian impression.
you're like, how you going? You
How
guys,
you going? Yeah, it's not too bad, mate.
Still with an American
you guys
accent.
don't say like your R's, but say like, this way.
Oh.
Like, what do you say? Like, over here.
It's a bit British, I think.
That's
Right,
very
right,
British. That's
right, this way, right.
Yeah, mate, you want to take a left down that part? You want to go there? See,
Good
even
eye, mate.
Australians, when we're
Good
being
eye.
Australian, we put on an Australian accent.
Right.
See, there's two types.
Aussie.
There's Aussie, and then there's Aussie. You know?
Aussie.
You'll hear absolute Australian accents in Timworth. I have no doubt about that. You'll hear people with
Well-
a real Aussie drawl.
So we were like, I don't know what we were watching, but we saw that chant you guys do, Aussie. Do you
Aussie,
guys-
Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
Aussie.
Yeah, do you guys do that?
It's the equivalent of USA.
Oh,
So
okay.
It started at the Sydney Olympics in the year 2000. I don't know how it started. That's when it started.
Well, we did that in the car on video, so we got that.
well, if you're in a big crowd and everyone's in a good mood, you can pretty much start. You can just go Aussie, a sporting event, or in a crowd after a typical Australian song. You can just get the whole crowd doing it. You know.
Say that again. Australians.
Australian. See, I'm.
Let me hear your best American accent. Can you do that?
No, not really.
No,
I've got to think back to when
we've
we've spoken to American artists, and I don't know. It's
Do we sound
The
very
accents from the south are fun. I always like the accents from the south.
I could do that, but I think I could make
heady part?
Out of Barton.
partner. No, can't do it. No.
That was pretty good.
we did have a segment where we had Southern Grizzled Man, remember?
I-
In the early days of the
Grizzled Man?
show.
I reckon do Jaron Johnson because it's like yeah. Hey, how's it go again? Hey y'all with a Cadillac 3, born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh,
I
that's
got to
pretty
get more
good.
Yeah,
confident as I go
Cadillac
along.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's right.
good.
From
It's better than
Tennessee.
me with an Australian accent. Good
Uh,
night, mate.
The longer you're here, I think the better you'll pick up.
I like it. I wish I had an Australian
Okay,
accent.
the Birdman, shout out to the Birdman, coolest nickname ever from our recent live video. He wants to know, what are you most looking forward to in Tamworth?
What am I most
The accent,
looking forward to?
obviously.
Yes, the accent. I'm gonna try to pick up on that. Take some lessons. Maybe you guys can
Okay,
give me
well,
some lessons on it.
just before McKenna leaves, we're going to get in touch. We're going to go, right, speak Australian.
Speak Australian.
What about g'day? Can you say the typical Australian?
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. I feel like I sound pretty good.
Do you know what g'day stands for? You know
Good day.
Yeah, okay. Most of people go like, what is that? I go,
What?
Just, it's not even short. It's
Well, I don't understand why you guys say how you going.
no, we don't say how you going. It's like one word. How's it going?
How's it go? But
How's it
you
going?
don't say how you go. Like I feel like you don't say how's it going. You say how you going.
How you going, mate?
And then because we say like what's up or like how's it going.
Hey,
Well, it
what's
depends. If you're cool, you just go, so.
So
That's what
No
MJ
idea.
does all the time.
so.
That's right. I think we just throw things together. We're lazy. We're just lazy with the language. It's
Yeah.
easy.
I like it. You guys talk like
We're
I
laid
talk.
back.
I feel like you guys just like run things together. And
There's
I'm like, okay.
different levels of Australian, I think.
That's right.
it correlates with the level of how much Vegemite you can eat. See, I can eat out of the jar, but I can't eat a whole jar full. McKenna
So
won't be able to eat
if you
anything.
ate out of the
I'm gonna
jar,
try
you would go,
it.
how's it going? It would be very pronounced. Is that what you're
Wow.
saying?
If you're watching, we're not going to make her try. We're not cruel, but I know that some of our competition, if we can call them that, are probably going to make her try the Vegemite. I think one of
Well,
them.
I want to try it. I really do. I'm willing.
Can we run down to this?
Room service.
There's a Coles
Now-
around here somewhere. We'll go get some now.
There you go.
Pick up the camera. Let's go.
There you go.
Let's not do that. Any other questions coming through, MJ?
Who is your favourite? I love this. Australian artist. See, the more Australian you are, the less Australian you say. You just say Australia.
Australian artist.
You'll hear Australia
Ooh.
at at some point. So, do you know many Australian artists, or is this the first time sort of?
You know, this is like my first time in Australia, so I mean, I would say like Keith
Keith
Urban.
Urban.
But
He's
is
like-
he
he's a
like?
quick
Is he
You
kid.
just
like?
looked at the shirt.
I mean-
I don't have no idea. He's wearing a shirt.
Keith Urban has lost his accent. That's what we're all saying. So I don't think he can. Yeah.
I feel
And-
like when he talks, he's like Australian all the way,
No.
but when he sings,
No.
he's like you'd never
Yeah.
be able to.
He's also not fully Australian because he's born in New Zealand, and then he came over what we call the ditch. He just, he's like Canadian being an American kind of thing. So he was born in New Zealand, but was only there for like 2 months before he came here. But he's like 98% Australian.
So that's pretty.
I'm
That's pretty
100%.
good.
So
100%.
I'm descended from a convict. That's how Australian I am. Okay, I'm fully
Oh my god.
Aussie, mate.
Well,
Now-
we flew into New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand.
Right,
And
yeah.
then we flew over here. But yeah, you guys, this is such a cool. You guys have. I love it here. You guys have no GMOs. Like that is so cool. And then your money is so pretty.
It's plastic.
It's so pretty.
Do I
It's
get
like
cash on
see-
me? I want to know.
It's plastic.
But what I don't understand is, so we have like dollar bills.
Mhm.
We do have useless pennies. I will admit that. But we have dollar bills. You guys have like coins, like $2 coins, and I just like get confused because we don't have. We have
What's-
like a dollar coin.
What is
We
the
have
most
the
confusing
5
is
cent piece,
the
which is-
$2 coin is smaller than the $1 coin. But you would think it would be, it doesn't make
The
sense.
50 cents is
That's
humongous.
exactly right.
There's actually, isn't there a debate about making the $5 note a $5 coin now? I think we're
That's
going
right.
down.
We'll go back to the days of shackles. Now, I wanted to ask you about, you grew up in California, but you're based in Nashville. What was that move like to say, okay, I'm going to take music so seriously, I'm actually going to move to Music City, I'm going to make a go of this?
Well, I feel like to be a country artist, it's kind of like you have to be in Nashville. You live, breathe, eat, sleep music in Nashville.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just like so magical there. Like you can rock with anybody. You're at a restaurant and your waiter is a songwriter, and so you're like, hey, want to co-write? But yeah, you just like when you're there, you just like do music all the time.
You're surrounded by creativity.
Exactly, and so it's just like so inspiring just to be there. And there's shows every night, and everybody is just like amazing in the city. And so I just thought, hey, if I want to do this for real, I got to be there.
Got to do that. What about the fact that you are an independent artist? How does that fit in a town that's where all the big record labels are, the big management teams are? How do you find your place there?
Well, there's so many other musicians that aren't signed and that are doing exactly what I'm doing, and so you kind of have to find your own niche and find your own music and kind of like stand out in a way, but still, kind of like just show you're into it. You really want this, and you kind of have to like set yourself apart from the other artists.
And if you're true to yourself, then that will shine through rather than being taken and moulded into something.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, now once you go back to the States, once Tamworth's over, and I think you've also got some gigs in Northern Australia. You've got a Brisbane gig next weekend, so at Johnny Ringo's, the famed Johnny Ringo's. Once you go back to the States, what's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm going back to Nashville. Actually, yeah, I'm going to fly back into California and hang out there with the family, and then fly back to Nashville and
Just delay getting back to the snow as long as you
yeah,
possibly
right. Yeah, there's no snow actually. We're actually underwater right now, so we're
okay.
flooding. It's
Not
very
good.
rainy there, but we needed it. We were in a big drought.
Yeah, well, I think we are as well. So if you want to have any more,
Send
just
it this way.
Send it back this
There
way.
you go.
Just put it on a plane, send it over here. We'll take it.
Now, I was intrigued the other day, you released a single, Beacon, and what struck me, I saw it and it said featuring her, and I thought, okay, that can only be the one her that I know of, which is a band, a person, but a band called Her, formerly called Her in Kings County. Monique's the lead singer, a band that's quite out there, that pushes the boundaries of country. How did that collaboration come about? It's very intriguing.
Well, okay, so I live in Nashville, and they're actually, funny story, they're my roommates. So I live they live in a big house, and I live on the downstairs apartment.
Mhm.
And And
there's a sitcom in this, I'm sure.
yeah, it's fun. So like rewind a little bit. We actually went on a country cruise together, the Blake Shelton and Friends cruise,
Yep.
and the Trace Adkins and Friends cruise. So it was a lot of fun, and we just kind of like hit it off and became friends. And Caleb, he is also in the band, and he is a producer. He produces albums, so he produced my last one, Seal It With a Kiss. And I just loved his work. And then I live there now in the studios in the house. And so
That's perfect.
one day we were like, it was winter and we were cold and we were just daydreaming about the beach. And we're like, let's write a song about beaching. Like, you can literally beach anywhere. You can be in your backyard in a kiddie pool beaching.
How many beaches does Australia have? I think it was like 2,000 or something.
Jeez.
The whole
Well,
country.
you guys beach
It's
all
a
the
beach, it's an
time.
island.
Exactly. So I mean, you can definitely, and everyone can go to the beach, and you can definitely write a song about it. And I think that song's going to be huge once Tamworth hits, and you're there playing it as well.
I hope
Even
so.
if it's like, so far inland.
I wish I could fly her in so she could sing it with me live on stage.
Perfect. That would be fantastic.
But
We'd be interested in that.
yeah, so we wrote the song, and we were like, let's just write a song about how we're feeling, and we were like, we just want to be on the beach. So we wrote it, and we literally recorded it the next day, and kind of worked on it a little more. And
What I like is you've released it in winter in America, so everyone releases their spring sort of song or their summer song in summer. You've said, no, this is all about thinking about it when you're not there, when it's the wrong season.
And I said, why not? You know, we released it basically just for you guys here in Australia, because we're like, so it's just for you guys, because it's summertime here. So we're like, we gotta release a summer song to perform in Tamworth in Australia. So.
Well, we know you're going to be well received. The song's going to be loved in Tamworth. We hope you really enjoy your time there, and of course Johnny Ringo's the Brisbane gig. And MJ, any other questions coming through?
There's one I don't know if I can ask. It says, is McKenna single? I mean, that's probably, no, I'm not going to ask that.
I like to keep my
Was that the Birdman?
It was.
Wow, the
I think
he's a talkative guy.
Yeah, I think you're too old. I mean, I should be first in line.
But
Just taking a corny.
But it is an interesting question though, because when you're in the public eye, you have a private life, but there's also a public persona. So is that something that you're conscious of? Not just whether you've got partners or not, but just everything you do. People are looking at you.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like I'm just like always me. I feel like I don't know. I mean, you definitely have to be, but I feel like I'm just kind of, I'm me. I just do it,
It's
you know?
just a few points left out.
Exactly.
No one needs to know about.
Yeah.
The last one was, are you a fan of the PBR, bull riding? That's an interesting question.
Oh, I do. You know, funny story, I actually used to do rodeo. So, I used to barrel race and do breakaway and team roping and stuff. So, I watched bull riders all the time. So, there you go.
There we go. So she's a fan. That's pretty much it for the questions. I mean, if I stay around a bit longer, I think they'll keep asking.
All right, well,
we need to put an end to this video.
We actually need to get ice onto the ankle. We've got to make sure the ankle gets repaired for Tamworth. Thanks so much for spending time with us on Planet Country Night in this live video. We'll see you in Tamworth performing, and we urge everyone to come along and see you play. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your time in Australia.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna have to now make this awkward walk
Sideways
over to the
jog.
camera. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you next Thursday night on Planet Country, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Say goodbye to McKenna.
Bye.